Reviewing the Writing Process, a web-based module for ninth graders by Ms. Kelly Prime. Why is the writing process important? Students need to be able to develop and create multi-paragraph essays that will allow them to pass the following important tests in the future. Following, you'll see examples of the conventions that are going to be covered in those tests. The Gateway is taken in 10th grade, Georgia High School graduation test in 11th grade, SAT in 11th and 12th, AP exams in 11th and 12th, and you may also need to write college or trade school admissions essays. The domains assessed in the Georgia High School writing test are ideas, organization, style, and conventions. These are the domains assessed in several other important writing contexts, like the ones that I just mentioned, and here are examples. The Gateway Social Studies, ideas, organization, fluency, which is the same as style, and conventions. Gateway Science, same areas, ideas, organization, fluency/style, and conventions. The AP exams, the score reflects the quality of the essay as a whole, its content, which is ideas and how they're organized, its style, and its mechanics, which means conventions. What's being assessed in the SAT? Same things, ideas, organization, style, and conventions. If you would like to see these scoring rubrics in more detail, you can visit www.collegeboard.com. You can just copy and paste that URL to see the specific SAT one. Defining persuasive writing. Persuasive writing is writing that has as its purpose convincing others to accept a writer's position as valid, adopt a certain point of view, or take some action. Methods of persuasive writing are providing logical appeals, emotional appeals, facts, statistics, narrative, anecdotes, humor, and/or the writer's personal experiences and knowledge. What persuasive writing is and is not. What it is on the left, what it is not is on the right. It clearly establishes a position on the issue and fully develops an argument with specific details and examples. It is not formulaic writing or a repetitive, standard 5-paragraph formula that repeats the writer's position and supporting ideas. It does defend the writer's position with relative evidence that is appropriate for the audience identified in the writing topic. It is not a list of irrelevant ideas or supporting ideas that are inappropriate for the audience identified in the writing topic. It does demonstrate that the writer can anticipate and counter the audience's position on the issue. It is not writing that fails to consider the audience's position on an issue. It does use specific facts, personal experience, and knowledge and/or statistics to support the writer's position. And it is not a list of facts, a story, and/or personal anecdotes that are unrelated to the writer's position. It does include appeals to logic and/or emotion, but it is not a chance for the writer to simply vent about a topic. It contains an organizational structure appropriate for persuasion, but it is not writing in which ideas are presented in an illogical or confusing order. It is a multi-paragraph writing that supports a specific side of an issue. It is not a single paragraph. It uses appropriate writing voice to engage the reader. It is not flat, uninteresting writing. It uses precise language and varied sentences. It is not an essay that contains imprecise language and little sentence variety. No text speak, guys. It does introduce the reader to the issue, fully develops a position, and provides a sense of closure. It is not writing that presents ideas without introducing, developing, and/or providing closure. It may contain a short narrative in the introduction or a skillful and extended narrative that supports the writer's position, but it is not just a story that does not address the persuasive purpose of the topic. It does contain correct sentences, usage, grammar, and spelling that make the writer's ideas understandable, and it does not use incorrect sentences, usage, grammar, and spelling that distract the reader from the writer's ideas. Now here's an example of the Georgia High School graduation test persuasive writing topic. Now you may recognize this because this is actually a topic that if you're in 9th grade that you wrote about earlier this year. You have the writing situation, which is part A, and then you have the directions for writing, which is part B. Many states are increasing the minimum driving age to prevent accidents involving teenage drivers. That is your general topic. The context is in white. Some teenagers are worried because they depend on driving to get to work or school activities. Decide what you think about the issue. And then directions are in part B. Write a letter, something very specific, to your state representative, a very specific audience, that explains why the driving age in Georgia should be raised, lowered, or remain the same. Support your position with specific examples and details. Interestingly, this A part and B part structure is found in many other high-stakes writing contexts. For example, the gateway. You also have a part A and a part B. Documents A and B are related to this writing task. Now, this is an overview of the score points 1 through 5, or the 5 levels of competence. Now, in each of the 4 areas that we already talked about, which was formulating ideas, organization, style, and conventions, you will receive a 1 through 5 score in each of those 4 areas. You don't want a 1, you want to aim for the 5. A score 1 means that you have lack of control of the elements of the domain. A score 2 means you have minimal control of the elements of the domain. A score 3 means that you have sufficient control. Now, a 3 is passing, but you certainly want to go for a 4 or a 5, which is consistent or full command of the elements of the domain. And if you're looking at the graphs, the green is the degree to which the writer demonstrates control of the components. So you want more green and less red. Your assignment. You are now going to go to the Resources tab of the web module. On this page, you will find rubrics for formulating ideas, organization, style, and conventions. They're PDF files. Please read over these rubrics thoroughly. Then create a new Word document and with a partner, in your own words, write 2 to 4 9th grade level sentences summarizing each of the 4 rubrics. Now what I want you to do is I really want you to look at the rubrics carefully, and I want you to define what formulating ideas, organization, style, and conventions are based on what you read in the rubrics. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.